The Mad Woman on the Bus, a true horror story. Narration.com. Serious tone. This terrifying true story happened to me on my way to my grandmother's house back in July 2019. It was late, and I had been trying to catch a bus, but every route was packed. Finally, around midnight, I managed to get on one that was heading my way. The bus was practically empty, just the driver, the ticket collector standing near the door, two young women, a guy and an old lady. Sound effect. Subtle, eerie ambient music starts. Low as we drove along the road, we passed by a mental hospital. Suddenly, a woman in a hospital gown was standing right in front of the bus, holding up a finger to hitch a ride. Her head was completely bald. Her face was stark white, and she stood frozen, staring. The bus stopped right next to her. Everyone on the bus went completely silent. The road ahead was now shrouded in thick fog and darkness. The bus's headlights were the only source of light. Narration. Increasing tension. I was texting my grandma, letting her know I would arrive soon, and I glanced over at the woman. But just as she was about to step onto the bus, the driver suddenly slammed the gas and sped away, leaving her behind. I was confused, and so was everyone else. We looked at the driver, an old man, and his face was contorted with fear, though we didn't know why. I leaned forward and asked him, "Sir, why didn't you let that woman on the bus?" The old man answered me in a trembling voice, "She is not a normal woman, miss." He immediately looked up into the rearview mirror, said nothing more, and floored the gas. Sound effect. Engine roars. Heartbeat quickens. I followed his gaze into the mirror and clearly saw the woman running after the bus with an abnormal posture and unnatural speed. She was running so fast I could barely make out her features, but I could clearly see her ragged gown was soaked with dried blood. The ticket collector shouted at the driver, "Faster! She's almost caught up." N-A-R-R-A-T? Yo N? Panise. Everyone on the bus started screaming. I was the person sitting closest to the door. Suddenly, she leaped onto the bus, clinging to the side. She slowly started to pull the door open, and her face pressed against the glass. It was the most terrifying moment of my life. Her face was bruised, covered with disgusting wounds, and she was grinning at us with sharp, predatory teeth and pitch-black, vacant eyes. My heart nearly stopped. Everyone screamed at the top of their lungs. I quickly grabbed my shoulder bag and used it to push her hard, making her fall off the bus. But as she dropped, I saw her stand right back up. She looked at me, stared, and laughed a horrifying, maniacal laugh. Sound effect. High-pitched scream, followed by maniacal laughter, fading terribilation time, 3:30 to 4:45. A short while later, the bus finally reached the stop. Everyone quickly rushed out after paying. I got off the bus and went into a nearby convenience store to buy some snacks to calm my nerves. As I was checking out, the clerk asked me, "Are you okay, miss?" "Yes, I'm fine," I replied. I just had a frightening encounter with a mad woman on the bus. But what he said next made my blood run cold. Narration chilling. "Oh, I know her," he said. "She had cancer and had to shave her hair. She went mad. She constantly laughed hysterically, hurt herself, and threatened to kill others. That's why her family took her to the mental hospital." He paused, lowering his voice. "But last week, after she escaped from the hospital, she was hit and killed by a bus." I was completely shocked, covered in goosebumps. I asked him if he remembered the bus route number. He initially hesitated, citing privacy, but eventually told me the number. I thanked him, took my change, and walked back outside to look at the bus I had just ridden. The moment I saw it, I couldn't move. Sound effect. Loud. Final stinger. Eerie wind. That bus. It was the exact bus that had run over and killed the woman. Subscribe for more true horror. Time. 4:45 to 5 o'clock. Narration direct. Engaging tone. You never know what kind of secrets are riding with you. If this chilling true story gave you nightmares, make sure you don't miss the next one. Hit the subscribe button right now and turn on notifications to join our community. We share a new, terrifying, true-life horror story every week. Click the subscribe button and stay safe. Sound effect. Creepy music fades out.